everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina, and I am working on purging out some papers, some pattern papers that I haven't used in a very long time, or my style changed a little bit and I'm not really into those patterns anymore. So I kind of go through my paper stash every couple of months and pick out things that I don't use anymore, and either I ask my mom if she wants to go through them and pick out what she wants, or I donate them to actually, I donate them to our children's library, and they use them for craft times and decorating the children's library for holidays and stuff like that. So I just wanted to show you, I was in the process of doing that, and I kind of decided that I used to keep all my pattern papers by company, and right now what I'm doing is I've decided I'm going to try out by sorting them by color. So I started a pink pile, and then over there I have brown and blue. I have reds there, oranges here, greens, even though that has a couple different colors in it, the greens seem to stick out mostly for me. This pile right here is supposed to be like blacks and grays, and this one particular piece of paper I don't know what to do with, so it's got a little bit of red in it, and yeah, so that one kind of stumped me a little bit. And then I have a pile for yellow. I don't know if it's coming off that way on the camera. This is the pile I'm sorting through right now, so I have it sitting right in front of me. And right over here I have a pile of kind of neutrals that has like craft and stuff like that in it. And then over here I have all of the journaling kind of pieces that come in some of the different kits, that I think what I'll do is probably cut them up and put them in with my Project Life stuff. And then I also have my containers. I'm watching YouTube while I'm doing this, so I have my iPad sitting there. Those are the containers I use. They're from Oriental Trading. And then I also have my papers that are patterns that don't really have any particular, you know, I think I'm gonna do some stripes or something like that in different. It's like, this is like what I don't know what to do with pile. So I have to kind of sort through those. And then on my side here is where I'm sticking my scrap papers, which I will, got to come up with a little solution of how I'm going to store my scrap papers. This container right here is a pattern, still a package I have to go through. And then I have some papers here that I'm purging, and that's my pile I still need to go through. So, alright, that's where I'm at. I'll be back in a little bit and give you an update as to where I'm at. I'm sitting on my floor. It's the only place really I can kind of go through all this. Okay, I'll be back. So I thought I would share with you how I sort out my paper and what I consider a pattern paper, and, or not a pattern paper, but what color I consider to put a piece of pattern paper in. So first what I do is I decide what side of the paper I like the best. So this is a Cosmo Cricket Upcycle. This is an older collection. I'm not really liking this pattern. It's not something I would normally use in my scrapbooking process. So, but I do like the back side of this, and it's a red, and I like that I also have it in 2 sheets. So both of these sheets will go into my red papers. This one right here is more of a border, so I won't be putting this into a particular pattern or particular color, but I'm going to set it aside into my pattern papers and sort that later into different like border papers and stripes and stuff like that. This one is a more journaling cards, so I'm going to stick that to the side for later on. This one right here, oh, this one I have 2 pieces of. So one side of this really stands out to me as to be a pink, because there's more pinks in it, and that's kind of the color that stands out the most to me. There is kind of like a shade of green in here, but the pink is what really sticks out for me. So I'm going to put that in my pink paper. And then the back side of this is kind of, I consider this a neutral. This is something that I would put as a background on a layout. So I'm going to put that in my neutrals. This one is another one I have 2 pieces of. Green kind of pops out the most for me. So does the blue, and it's also polka dot. So I've got 3 different categories here. So I think what I would do, since I have 2 of them, I'm going to, and I don't like the back side at all, so I don't have to worry about that. I think what I'm going to do is sort these into green and polka dot. So one will go in green, and one's going to go in my patterns to be sorted later. This one, I'm not really sure if I like this pattern. Let's see the back side. Now see, now this pattern really sticks out more to me now because I like these two together. So I think what I'll do is I'll put one which has mostly in the blue, and this one is a green. So I have one for blue and one for green. This one's another border piece, but it also has this pattern in the back, which I don't like at all. So I'm just going to throw this right into my patterns to be sorted later. So let me just get the rest of that out of there. These two right here are kind of neutrals. They're kind of crafty colors, so I'll put that into my neutrals pile. And then I'm getting down to some other collections from Cosmo Cricket, and this collection right here I think is an old Christmas collection. So I think what I'll do is, and I know what I'll do, is I will set these aside to go with my Christmas papers. I'm not even sure how they got out of my Christmas papers. So that's what I'm going to do, and I just wanted to quickly share with you my process for sorting out my pattern paper into different colors. Alright, so I finished sorting through all of my piles of paper. I have up there all of my neutrals, I have my journaling cards, I have my blue, brown, black, and red, my pink, orange, and yellow, and my greens, and then I have a pile over here of patterns that need to be sorted by pattern, which I will do last. But what I was doing now was I spread out all of my greens, and you can kind of tell what shade of green is my favorite. So kind of this color palette right here is my favorite shades of green, but I spread them out because it kind of helped me kind of look at it a little bit better and say, you know what, this one really isn't green. So I'm looking at this plaid here, and this really, before it said green to me, but it doesn't say so much green now. So I'm pulling that out. And that one polka dot, and I think I have the camera running for that one, I had pulled this out for green, and I decided that really doesn't go in the green family. I'm going to put it with the polka dots. So that's kind of what I'm doing now, is just fanning through my colors, deciding that I really do want these in this pattern, or this color palette here. So I do have one here, this kind of sticks out too, but I had two of these, and this is one that was either blue or green, and I put one of each, one in the blue and one in the green. So that's kind of how I did that. So that is my green family. Alright, so I spread out my yellows, and I have two that are kind of saying more orange than they are yellow, and I really had a hard time with deciding what was yellow and what was orange. But this one right here, especially since I see it next to that orange there, it kind of goes to me anyway, more in the orangey family. So I'm going to put that one in orange. And the same thing with this one here. Kind of is more of an orangey color to me. So other than that, I think I did pretty well with picking out my yellows, even though I kind of had a hard time going, no, that's orange. No, that would be yellow. So, and this one down here, actually this one kind of is a green kind of pattern. Maybe I'm going to put this with the green. I'm going to pull this one out. Alright, so I got my orange all spread out, and I'm already noticing this one screams blue. This one I think I'm going to put with my striped patterns. And then this one is more of a red tone to me. So other than that, I think I got everything out that I need to get out. There's a lot of this pink paisley collection, and I had a couple sheets of it. So I kind of spread that out into a couple different patterns. So, alright, that is kind of how I sorted out the oranges. Alright, so the pinks, I think I did pretty good on these too. A lot of these, it's not hard to tell the difference between a pink and a different color. The only one I did see that's kind of standing out for me is this one right here, and I think I'm going to put this in with the florals in the patterns. Okay, blue is my biggest pile that I have. I've got tons of blue, and you can tell what shade of blue is my favorite color on this. So I kind of already flipped through this, and I didn't pull anything out that I saw stuck out as a shade that didn't, or a color that didn't go. So yeah, this one I pulled. I have one in my flower, or my pattern papers to go in a flower pile. So yeah. Alright, so blues are done. Last but not least, as far as my solid, or my color patterns go, are my neutral colors, or colors or papers like this one right here. I think I would use this in a background of a scrapbook layout, and not so much for anything else, so more of a background. So that's kind of what this pile is. It's a bunch of neutrals, craft kind of colors, and things I would use as backgrounds for scrapbook layouts. Alright, these are all the journaling cards. I didn't even know I had half of these that I found while I was sorting out my papers from the company to the colors. These are all journaling cards that I can be using for Project Life. I will never buy another journaling card for Project Life again. There is so much of it here. I've got older simple stories. I've got Echo Park journaling cards. So lots of journaling cards here. Someday I'll sit down and cut through these and get them all with all of my Project Life stuff. So I finished organizing all of my 12 by 12 papers. Let me just show you what I did. Each one of these cubbies is meant for something separate. So this very first section right here is all of my newest 12 by 12 paper, as well as two collection kits that I recently purchased. This one right here is Stampin' Up! Paper that I had purchased a couple months ago, as well as a kit that I'm not sure if I'm going to keep. It's one of those ones I'm not 100% sure on. And then a collection kit from some of the stories that I plan on using on some layouts of some stuff that we did this summer. This very first section, starts my pattern paper here. And what I did with this is I took white chipboard that I had. It's a little bit, it's not super thick, but it's a little bit thicker than a gift box, and then I used my Jenny Bolin punch. I used this punch right here from Jenny Bolin and punched out little file tabs and did a section for each of the different colors in my pattern paper. So that's my first one, and then this is my second one. I have my red, blacks, grays, and my neutral colors. This section right here, I ran out of the little white chipboard pieces that I had, so I just took plain chipboard and covered it with white paper. And this first section here is the journaling cards that I had found. And then the next section are all those sticker sheets that come with your collection kits that I did not even realize or even remember that I had because they were tucked away with the collection, so they never got used. So now they're out and I can start using them. This section right here is all that pattern paper that didn't have a category. Then this section right here is all my specialty paper. It's got my glitter paper, it's got canvas, cork sheets, vellum, glossy paper, that kind of stuff is all right in this section. So let me show you what I did with my scrap paper. I took some page protectors, the kind that you would buy at Staples, and stuck all of my scrap pieces in a page protector. So these are 8.5 by 11, and if it was too big, I just cut it down a little bit smaller to get it to fit. I didn't have to do that to many because most of them are smaller, thinner scraps. So each section for each color has one of these. So I have one in the blues, I've got one here right in the green section, and I did that for every color, so it makes it easier for me when I'm starting to do work on a scrapbook or a card or a project of some sort. I can maybe hit this section first if I'm just looking for a small piece before I actually start cutting up a whole 12 by 12 piece. So that is my current 12 by 12 pattern paper storage. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.